Here we are, Greg. It's the weekend, finally here. Sunday of the 250, and great car count today. Just the atmosphere, it's just, I don't know, I just get so excited when I come up here for this weekend.
Yeah, it's a great day. I'm guessing between 60 and 80 late models here. I haven't done an actual count. The track's reporting 82, and other places reporting 70. But, I mean, there's quite a few guys here, and there's a wide variance of times on the track.
I was going to say, you were up there timing, and you got like 3 ranges of cars. You got your early favorites, pre-race favorites, your guys that are probably an adjustment away from being in that group, and then you got guys that really need some help to be in that starting field.
Right, and you don't know who was on new tires or old tires, but these tires do fall off. I was talking to a few guys, and they said that the heat cycles matter a lot in these tires, and they really slow the car down a lot once the heat cycles go into effect. So only time will tell, and the heats will tell, and if you get a good draw, then you know where you're going to stop probably.
Yeah, no, you're right, and that's the whole key about this weekend, and most tour racing, I should say. But you know, it ain't all about Oxford this weekend, even though it is the big deal.
Right.
But Thursday night they had the John Phippen Memorial race up
to Bangor at Speedway 95,
and Mr. Hopkins.
Hot Rod Hopkins, that's my new nickname.
That's his new nickname, Hot Rod Hopkins, and man, that guy gets it done.
Yep.
Picked up his 7th win of the season up there at Speedway 95.
Yeah, he was the night we went up there. His car, he could go anywhere he wanted to.
Yeah, so you know, congratulations
to him.
Dean Smart was 2nd, and
Dwayne Seekins got 3rd.
Seekins got 3rd. So nice field of cars up there, good racing, raised some money for the Phippen family. So you know, I miss John. John, this 250. John was one of the stories at these weekends. You know, everybody thinks Kyle Busch or Brian Hoare or Mike Rowe or Bradley. Those aren't the stories. The stories are the little guy
that makes it in.
Yeah, that pulls his resources, has his crew reach in their pocket, kick in 10, 15, 20 bucks, buys tires, puts a few sandwiches together, and comes up here and makes the show. That's the story of this weekend.
Right, yeah.
And speaking of that story of this weekend, we saw that last night in the modified race for the you know, the Valente Modified Series. First time winner. And I'll tell you, not only was he excited in Victory Lane, Joe Doucette, everybody was excited. Competitors were coming up excited.
Yeah,
crew members on other teams. That's what you like to see.
It's great when you got a big weekend like this, and they have a special race on Saturday night, and he pulls off the upset victory. You know, I think you told me he took the lead on lap 97.
Yeah, 95, 96. He methodically worked his way forward, and you know, as we got his interview here coming up, you're going to see, you know, listen to him, and it's funny. It's like he just, I don't want to say it. I want you to hear some of the things he says, because it is pretty comical.
And he beat some good cars.
Oh, yeah. So, you know, enjoy listening to Joe Doucette talk about his first win in the Modified Racing Series.
It was unbelievable. Yeah. You know, we went from dominating Pro 4s to coming to this and just not making races. And we've worked at it, and it's paid off, especially this year.
Took a bit of time. Got the track clear.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this series is tough.
For the call.
A lot of cars. A lot of times you fight to qualify. We're not a big budget team by any means. We've got a low budget motor. We actually have a rental motor. We've had rental motors for 4 years. Jack Bateman's provided engines for us. We know it's underpowered, but on tracks like this, it shines, because you don't need all the power.
And that surprised you said that you didn't expect to ever win on a flat track.
To be perfectly honest, these have been kind of my Achilles heels, is this flat tracks here, Beach Ridge, Seekonk, places like that. And like I said downstairs, we came here today. We were the bottom of the speed charts. We were absolutely dead last in the speed charts, and we said, you know, we got to do better than this. We're better than this. Wholesale changes between the practice heat and to the feature, and everything they did was right on the money. Fantastic job. My crew, just unbelievable.
How much did going from daytime to nighttime change the
The track absolutely tightened up quite a bit. We expected that. During the day, just with the hot temperatures, the sun shining on the track, it was real greasy. It wasn't just us. We were comparing notes to some other drivers, and we know we couldn't adjust too crazy. until nighttime was going to fall. And we went into the feature realizing we had to tighten the car, you know, somewhat, but we didn't want to go overboard because that's what we seem to do here. We always show up in the day and we're loose and we tighten it up and we tighten it up too much. So we tried something new. Oh, thank you. And it worked out beautifully. You know, I was just biding my time there for basically 3/4 of the race, and then at the end I was like, my God, I'm actually on the scoreboard. and then I says, you know, I'm actually faster than these two cars in front of me, and once I get by those two, I said, well, I'll be happy with the podium finish. And we pulled Chris in, and I could see we were better than him off the corners. And I said, well, I have to wait to 10 to go. I can't wear it out, and because I know he's quick. He's won a lot of races, and you know, we made a decent pass on him. We might have rubbed a little, but I know he'd race me clean. I mean, he's the points leader. He's going to protect that. He knows I'm racing with my first win, so I thank him for giving me the room I needed and racing me clean. I'm just ecstatic, absolutely ecstatic.
That's pretty funny to hear him comment about getting excited seeing his name on the scoreboard.
Yeah,
I remember
great.
the first time, you know, when we were up here and we made the scoreboard in '97 with Donnie Culprit.
Yeah.
We were a Saturday Night Beechridge team. And to be sitting on the scoreboard 4th, I mean, that's a big deal to the little guy, you know. So congratulations to Joe Doucette, and look forward to seeing that whole group down to Beechridge in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
you know?
a couple weeks they come to the Ridge to run their tour race down there, and it'll be a good show. It's always great to see the mods back at Beechridge, you know.
You know, but let's face it, the biggest deal of the weekend is the return of the
Alls.
Super Late models with the Pro All-Star Series race last night.
And OPS.
At OPS. And, you know, just to see the people here walking around, and, you know, those belong here. This weekend is what it's all about in racing in July. And
last night, if you're a race fan, this is the place you wanted to be.
yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm throwing broken glass in my own eyes because I wasn't here.
But, you know, you had commitments at
I had
Beechridge, and hopefully, you know, next year the tracks will all work together a little more. And it's like 95 and Unity tried to. Maybe Andy down there, you know, he runs his own show. He runs a good show. But maybe I don't even think of the racer, but the race fans to come up here and see what went on here last. The crowd was huge.
Yeah,
and
I was following the action on Speed 51s. They have a trackside live coverage. I was following it on my phone, and they showed a picture of the crowd, and I was like showing everybody around. Look at the crowd, you know. It was amazing. It looked like the Oxford 250 in 1985.
And we got some pictures later on. But what I did was before the race, I caught up with some guys on the track, and want to hear what they thought of their chances were for the event, as well as some of them, the legends that made Oxford in this racetrack, in this race, what it is today, and what their thoughts meant to be back to Oxford. So enjoy what these guys had to say about the Super Late models and the Pro All-Star Series being back at Oxford. All right, Donnie, you've been so close this year. What would a win tonight in front of this capacity crowd mean to Peter Pettit Motorsports and driver Donnie Whitman?
I think it'd be about as good as it could get, to be honest with you, man. We're starting up front. You know, it's a long race. We'll see what happens. Thrilled to be back in Oxford, but a win right now would probably be about as good as it could get.
All right, good luck, Donnie. Hey, Mike, back at the place that made you famous. What's it feel like to be back here at 250 weekend?
It's great to be back. You know, we was a little off in the heat rate. We hope we got the car better, so we'll have to wait and see.
We'll see, Mike, at the end of the night.
We hope so.
All right. Okay, Brian, this is your first start in this past Super Late model. It don't get any bigger than this event, does it?
No, definitely not. You know, coming back to Oxford in a Super Late model is a pretty cool deal, and you know, I mean, we got a pretty good car tonight, so it's going to be fun. We got an awesome crowd. What an awesome crowd, so it's going to be a lot of fun racing.
Looking to do the double.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to get plenty of laps in, hopefully.
All right, and just to let you know, you are my pick tomorrow.
All right.
Now, you don't race much now anymore, Trace, but
No.
you had to be here tonight, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
So how's the car going for you?
Not too bad. It's been chasing it a little bit back and forth, but hopefully we got it right this time.
All right, well, good luck tonight, Tracy.
Thank you.
All right, Kyle. You've been at the front of this pack in these Super Late models up here at Oxford. Never been able to finish a deal. Is tonight the night?
I'd certainly like to think so. And, you know, we've had a fast car so far, so the Aaron's Dream Machine seems pretty good, and I'm looking forward to it. You know, we got the pass race tonight, but, you know, get some good laps in here tonight. And more importantly, we'll try to race for the win tomorrow.
Yeah, and the weekend sweep's nothing new to you, right?
The weekend sweep wouldn't be. You know, we'd love to start it off here tonight right, but, you know, hopefully we can get tomorrow.
All right, good luck, Kyle.
You got it. Thanks.
5 years ago, I went shopping for my family's first camper. I didn't like the prices, and I didn't like the way I was treated. A year later, I opened up Scott's Recreation.
Today, Scott's Recreation is Maine's exclusive multi-line Heartland dealer, along with being Maine's #1 fifth-wheel dealer 2 years in a row. Browse through the new 2012 Heartland models or take advantage of closeout prices on 2011s. Scott's welcomes almost anything in trade, financing available too. Scott's Recreation, Route 202 in Manchester, and their new Turner location on Route 4.
All of us at Moody's Collision Centers would like to thank you for supporting us for over 30 years.
We all own stock in Moody's and have a vested interest in you and your vehicle.
The people at Moody's Collision Centers are part of the community, and our reputation is very important to us.
We take pride in our work and guarantee our repairs for as long as you own your vehicle.
At Moody's Collision Center, we care about our customers.
So when your insurance company asks where you want to go, tell them Moody's Collision Centers. 4 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, and now Portland.
Hey, are you Bob Crowley?
Hey, yeah.
Are you going to Ossipee Trail?
Yes, I am.
Sweet! Get in!
People will do whatever they gotta do to get to Ossipee Trail Motor Sales, Route 25, Gorham.
You're watching Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by Southern Maine Motors, out to be Maine's #1 Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep dealership. Well, welcome back to Mainly Motorsports, bringing it to you right here from TD Bank 250 weekend, you know, Sunday morning. The drivers are all down there having their draw.
Yep.
And pretty ironic, there's guys here trying to do the double. Obviously, Kyle Busch trying to do the double.
Yep.
Brian Hoare, Joey Pole,
Patrick LaPerle.
More guys on the late model ACT side of things trying to do the double than there were.
Late model guys.
No super late model guys. You know, just they didn't have the car, they didn't have whatever. But you know what? But what a great time, and you'll see as we got some highlights coming up here, and you know, just look at the crowd, Greg. Look at the crowd.
The crowd
that was here.
Unbelievable last night.
You know,
I mean, it was great to see the Pro Stocks come back to Oxford, and they had 40+ Pro Stocks show up.
Yeah, you know, and then here we are with the initial start of the race, and you know, they roll down, and that's, you know, Mayberry's got that traditional slow start of the race.
Yeah.
You know, it keeps the crowd on the edge of their feet. You know, and then the race action was just wild from there on out, you know.
Yeah, I heard it was a great show, and they had a lot of guys, you know, dicing it up for the lead at some points, and it was a typical Oxford Pro All-Stars race, and brought everybody back to their roots, you know.
Yep. And there's one of the other Pro All-Star Series guys you just saw trying to do the double. There's Bradley Babb. Didn't have much luck either night, but. You know, there's the king, Mike Rowe of Oxford, 150 wins up there, and driving the PT Watch #2 and marching it towards the front. And, you know, there was race action going on everywhere on the racetrack at all times. You know, there was a second groove. Some guys tried to make the third groove work. And there's a man that's won a lot of races up there at Oxford, got a great history, Billy Penfold, battling with Scott Chabot. You know, battling for that 10th to 15th position right there. Scott, little contact there, but I mean, all in all, I don't think they had a half a dozen cautions. You know, I mean, just great night action. Scott Mulkern steadily charged, started up towards almost 30th, and charged towards the front. At one point, he was running in the top 10, and I just, you know, obviously, the further you start back, you have to use your stuff up to get towards the front, and sometimes when you do, there's just nothing left to finish the deal. So, but he had a great run. You know, there's Patrick LaPerle. What a thrill that's got to be, to look in your mirror and know when you're leading what some people consider the best stock car racer in the country, and that's Kyle Busch. And you have to wonder, and you know, in your head, Greg, that you think, when is it coming? When is he coming? When is he going to make the move? And there's a battle going on, and you know, Patrick and Joey Pole. Looked like Joey Pole was going to be able to take the lead, and they caught the lap car of Kelly Moore and right in the lane he had to do. But here's some guys moving towards the top 10. Donnie Whitten, Johnny Clark, Lonnie Somerville. Another great run by Lonnie Somerville, you know, just picked away. And, you know, lo and behold, at the end of the night, he's standing on the podium. So great job to that team. And, you know, what a thing to see Mike and Ben Rowe doing battle again at Oxford. Here they are with Brian Hoare, Scott Mulkern, Johnny Clark. I mean, it don't get any better than that, does it? Racing in a stock car, whether at any level, those guys, and and you're going to hear coming up here the top 4 finishes, how their night went, how they thought their night could have gone, and the thing that people came to see happened, and that was Kyle Busch racing the Pro All-Star Series and ended up in Victory Lane on Saturday night as the Super Late Models returned to Oxford. And that's what it was all about this weekend.
I can't say enough about all these guys in the past tour. It's fun. Thanks to Tom Mayberry and his staff and everybody here. Thank all the fans, and it's awesome to come here. We love Oxford. It's great to be back, and to be back in Victory Lane. I can't say enough about this Aaron's Dream Machine. The guys did a great job from Kyle Busch Motorsports putting this thing together, and it was fun. But a couple of those restarts, Patrick chose the bottom, and then I was kind of on the top, and the top I was really loose, and then I got to the bottom, and I was really loose there. So it seemed like you really had to keep the rear tires under you, and we'd probably see that is going to be the trend tomorrow as well.
So you kind of picked the lesser of two evils, stayed on the top side, and then holding off Cassius Clark at the end too. Now, you've gotten one task done.
Give me my water bottle inside.
Taking home the pass race. Tomorrow you got the 250. So you already got one first place trophy under your belt after dominating 2 earlier 250s. What's the goal tomorrow? You want to make it a clean sweep of the weekend?
Well, we'd certainly like to, hopefully to the delight of the fans. That's what we're here for, and that's what we want to win is the Oxford 250. This is a great preliminary race here tonight, and it was a good car. The guys gave me a great piece. It was fun to drive. It was fun to race with those guys. I let Patrick get away there in the beginning and kind of let him set the pace. I don't have enough laps here to know that, so I kind of let him do it. And then there towards the end, I'm thinking, man, I don't know when to go. I don't know whether 50 to go, 40 to go, 30 to go. I didn't know how long to wait. And I saw Cassius and those guys coming up there behind me and Joey. And so I kind of set that I better get going here. I don't want these guys to get by me and then me have to repass them. So car was great, and tires stayed under us there, and we wanted to get as good a notes as we could, so I didn't do a burnout. Sorry, I'll save that for tomorrow.
There you go. Anyone else you want to thank while you got the floor?
Yeah, thanks. All of our partners, Lane Automotive, Crazy Horse, our guys from Aaron's, Toyota, Electric Sunglasses, all these guys from Kyle Busch Motorsports, Chris Gabehart's the man, and Bon Suss, and everybody that makes this thing tick. And it's fun to come out here. It's fun to win. 3 races on this car and 3 wins so far, so it's pretty cool.
3 wins. There you go. Congratulations. One more time. Big round of applause for Kyle. He is your past 150.
All right, Patrick. You led the most laps. Didn't finish where you wanted to finish, but looked like you had a good car. What happened?
At the end, I was kind of loose coming in the bottom groove. Then I was tied right in the middle, right when I was on top. I think I burned the right rear tire. Anyway, I don't know what lap the first caution happened, but I was leading, and then after that, Kyle Busch was starting on the outside, and we had a good restart. Then after that, there was another yellow, and tried to jump me just a bit, and he didn't jump me. He had a great restart. And, finished 4th. The 48 moved me up pretty high, the back stretch. I didn't like it at all. But anyway. He's racing for a point. I'm not racing for the point. I was here for the win and finished 4th with it. I'm gonna come back tomorrow for the 250.
Yeah, sets the tone for the weekend. Well, great job, Patrick.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, Lonnie, talk how big it was to you to not only run well, but run in front of the crowd that was here tonight.
Just, it's the next step for the Super Late models. Up in New England and North Canada, where we're gonna race and. Just huge. It's pretty neat, to run with those guys, Kyle and all those guys. And I wish I had a restart or two, at the end, and got a chance to actually get up there. We were pretty good on cold tires on the bottom, and we didn't. But for Pass to come back here and have a race like this, a couple cautions, and everybody ran well. A great field of cars. There's probably 15 or 20 cars that were capable of running, top 3, top 5, and it's pretty neat.
Yeah, it was. Well, congratulations, Lonnie, on the top 3.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Cassius, you got to be very pleased with finishing runner-up to the guy that wins this race with all the racing or lack of racing you've done this year.
Yeah, you still don't really forget how to race. I've raced long enough where I feel I ought to be able to jump in the car and get the job done. Thursday night probably touched us up a little bit. I got out of the car there. I was a little tired, but it was awful. It was hot down at Thompson. Had a good car down there. Was leading it there with right to the end, and Johnny got the jump on the restart on me there and sailed off with a victory. Kind of got banged up in the first lap crash and hurt the nose a little bit. And then tonight we were good. Last night and then today all in practice and everything. And the heat race, I kind of got a bad break. Kyle was in my heat, started in the back, and I got kind of messed up on the the outside behind a couple slow cars, and just got back into the qualifying spot. So I started back a little ways, 10th, which isn't too bad, but with that long green flag run, those guys got out on us pretty good, and by lap 80 or 90, we started getting back to him pretty good. I could see him coming back, and really I would have been happy if it would have stayed green, but all in all, good car, just a tick too tight. We changed a lot from the heat. I mean, we went up 100 pounds on the right rear spring, and put Packers in the left front, and made a lot of changes. Expecting the track to tighten up, which I felt it did a little bit, but we were off in the heat a little bit too. So I'm just happy we made the changes there.
All right, well, great job, guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Kyle, what's it feel like to finally stand in victory lane at Oxford? Something you should have already done twice before.
Well, don't say finally. I have only been here a couple times, but
still,
certainly it feels good. It's a great night. Great night. Guys have been awesome. All the fans have been excellent. We had a really good race car. The Aaron's Dream Machine was flawless. So fun to drive. We got the Rowdy 51 into victory lane in Oxford. Hopefully we can do it in the 250 tomorrow.
Just nothing new to you. Being talked about winning on Saturday and trying to do the double.
Yeah, we're trying to do a sweep here. We've done plenty of them in the NASCAR ranks before, but none here in the late models. I don't know that I've ever really run 2 late model races in 2 days very many times. So we'll see how it goes. Looking forward to it.
All right, great job tonight.
You got it, man. Thanks.
That's what everybody paid to see.
Right.
The man get it done.
Yeah.
Now he's here today to try to do the double.
Yep, and I think he's going to probably do it. I was watching him in practice, and he had a real good car.
He's whether you are a Kyle Busch fan or you're not a Kyle Busch fan, you have something to say when they introduce him. And I was over there last night. It was either yays, boos, or birds when they announced Kyle Busch.
But he was getting the reaction.
He was getting the crowd reaction, and that's what they want, and that's good for this place, and that's what's huge.
It don't matter if you get pluses or minuses. If you get a reaction, that means they know you were here.
Yeah, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, start in with our 250 coverage, cover some of the heat action, some of the feel-good stories, some of the, favorites, and at the end of the show, we'll all know who won. All right, we'll be right back on Mainly Motorsports.
Clark's Car Crushing has been a family-owned and operated business since 1978. We do everything from crushing cars, handling industrial scraps, to buying the scrap metal right out of the back of your pickup. Copper, brass, stainless steel, aluminum, you name it, we'll buy it. We have roll-off containers of all sizes for industrial accounts. We'll handle the legwork with full drop-off and pickup services. So for a professional job, guaranteed honest weights, and top dollar paid statewide, come see the Clark family in Farmingdale, Maine. Clark's Car Crushing. Don't fix it, scrap it.
Is it time to replace that old car, but past credit problems are getting in the way? At JT Motors, credit issues are a thing of the past. We have vehicles for any need. Growing family? How about a minivan? With winter here, come in and browse our great selection of four-wheel drive utilities. With a low down payment, you can qualify for this program despite those past credit issues. That's JT Motors, 650 Roosevelt Trail, Windham, where you always drive away with a smile on your face.
You're watching Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by Scott's Recreation, now at 3 convenient locations. Go to scottsrecreation.com to view our inventory. Award Champs, the official award supplier of Mainly Motorsports.
To order copies of a show, send a check or money order for $15, shipping and handling included, to Mainly Motorsports, 326 Roosevelt Trail, Windham, Maine, 04062. And please add a description of the show.
They just concluded 6 qualifying heats. And I don't know if the story is so much as who's in as it is who's not in. The top 3 from last year, Eddie Mack, Brian Hoare, Corey Morgan, all headed to the Consi round. Brad Layton, the dominant car, headed to the Consi round from last year. Patrick LaPearl, last night's 4th place finisher but led the most laps, headed to the Consi round. So this is what the story is all about with the TD Bank 250. It's the stories of the feel-good guys, the guys that you don't expect to be in the starting grid, that are in the starting grid. Now we're gonna go out I got Greg out in the field, and we're going to give you a surprise 6, we're calling them, and that's one from each heat that's in the grid of the starting lineup for the 250. See what they have to say about A, making the race, B, what their chances are to win the race. So here's your surprise 6, brought to you by Snow Pro Trailers.
This is Greg Emerson down here with Ben Ashline. He just won the pole for the Oxford 250. This is an opportunity for you to either cash in on a boatload of money or pace yourself and get the win. What's your plan?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stiff competition here. Watching last night's Pro All-Star race and seeing how Kyle Busch kind of handled himself, you know, the pace he set early on and worked with the leaders and the top guys. You know, I don't necessarily think that running away with it at first is necessarily going to be the best plan, but it's a lot of money on the line too. So I mean, we're such a low-budget team that to have the opportunity to start on the pole. I mean, I've been coming over here since I was 10 years old. I mean, never dreamed of being able to start on the pole for the TD Bank 250, and I mean, this is great. My crew, they did an awesome job. This thing was going great, and I got to thank them. I mean, this is unbelievable. I'm really excited.
It's pretty awesome. You have a couple sponsors you want to thank?
Yes, DS Norwood Construction. He's the guy on the hood here. I mean, like I said, we're a low-budget team. LA Harley Davidson, Bearbees Auto Care, Mystic Distributors, East Coast Scooters, MRD Designs, Vertex Fabrication, Etham Graphics. I mean, they've all made this possible for me, so I got to thank them and the fans. I mean, there's a lot of people here this weekend. This is a great turnout.
Cool. Well, good luck to you. Hope you have a good night. And from one age perspective to the other, we're going to pass it down to Steve with the surprise runner from heat number 2.
All right, Al, we don't even know how many starts this is for you in this 250, but every year that you keep coming and you keep coming and you keep qualifying, it just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it?
Well, I tell you, it takes a lot. You got to have a lot of desire for this business, I'll tell you. And I got a wicked good crew this year, and if it hadn't been for them, I probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah, no, and the crew's always behind everybody, and, you know, I don't think there's anybody here that would put more smiles on as many faces as you would if you could roll into victory lane and finally capture the 250.
It would be great, I'll tell you. It'd be just awesome.
Well, maybe this is the year, Al.
Well, we're going to give it all we got.
All right, now we're going to send it over to Greg, who's caught up with, other than maybe Al Hammond and Jeff Taylor, the cat that's won the most races here on this racetrack, but not in these type of race cars.
Thanks, Steve. I'm down here with Dave Farrington Jr., who qualified for his first 250 today. He has won a ton of races here, but not in a late model or pro stock or anything like that. He's got the most go-kart wins, 276 of anybody here at Oxford Plains. And so this is your first 250. What do you think?
Well, it's nice to at least make it in the heat race because it makes for a lot less stressful day. We've been running the ACT Tour full time this year, and we've got in the ACT Tour races every single time in the B feature, and it makes for a long day, but it's finally nice to be able to make it in on the heat races itself.
Yeah, it's a good day, and you got your work cut out for you. You've been scoping out the competition and all that stuff out there today?
Yeah, I have. You know, the track's going to be tricky, you know, to try to get a hold of, you know, whether the sun's out or the sun goes in the clouds, because when the sun's beating down, makes that track really slick, and the car is pretty free. So we don't want to try to adjust it too much and make it too tight in the feature, because, you know, I mean, normally when the sun does go down, the track seems to tighten up. So,
well, congrats on making your first 250, and hope you have a good night tonight. And off now, we're going to pass it off to Steve, who's with the surprise from the 4th heat.
All right, we're here with the surprise in heat number 4, who even got a bigger surprise at Tech when you crossed the line second, but the apparent winner was DQ'd in Tech, so that bumps you up to first, starting outside of the second row for the TD Bank 250. I mean, obviously the goal's already been met as a team. You made the race. What do you guys set for a goal now?
We're going to change that game plan a little. We thought we'd go out there and ride. We're going to try to lead some laps. You know, it's to make it to the end. Usually you got to ride for a long time, but I think we're going to try to get to the front, lead some laps, and then we'll take it from there.
The car looks very, very strong. I mean, you were reeling him in anyway, and so you got to be really pleased.
I'm real happy. I don't know if we could have passed him. I definitely could have got to him. We was trying to save a little. I didn't realize we were going to get to start 4th, so that makes it a little different.
All right, well, good luck in the big deal, Sean, and maybe you'll bring home the big check and a big hardware.
Maybe. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, we're going to send it over to Greg, and who's caught up with a name that last year everybody was talking about. This year the kids come in under the radar, but he got it done in heat number 5.
And I'm down here with Austin Terrio, and he finished second in his heat in heat 5, and this is his second attempt of the 250, and he's now made it. So he's got a 50% ratio. There's a little hype about you last year, you know, coming in, being the hot new guy and stuff like that, and something just didn't pan out and you didn't make the show last year, but today you did. You got up on the wheel and you drove it up there. So,
well, last year we learned a lot from the whole ordeal. I think we over-engineered ourselves. You know, you have a whole day Saturday to, you know, to make your car better, but a lot of times what happens is most of the guys end up making the car worse, and we were one of those teams that made our car worse.
Dialed your car.
We pretty much dialed ourselves out of a qualifying position. And I mean, last year we drew pretty decent also, so that kind of tells you that, you know, if you don't have your car worked out, you're not guaranteed a position in the 250. It's a really hard race to get into, and it's all about confidence, determination, and you need a good car also, you know.
Yeah, and you obviously had a good car. It looked real good. You drove your way up through there and, you know, put a couple stellar moves on some guys that have got some experience out there, and you did a good job, and we're looking forward to seeing you have a great race in the 250, and hope it's a good night for you at the end of the night.
We're hoping the whole team has a good night. I want to thank them all for the hard work they've done today, and we'll just stick it out and see what happens.
Now I'm passing it off to Steve, who's with a former champion who just picked the car up to race in the Oxford 250 on Friday night, but he made the show. Back to you, Steve.
All right, Larry, we're here with, we're calling him the Surprise 6. It's hard to call a former winner the surprise of his heat race, but after picking the car up in the 11th hour and getting it prepared to come up here and then be in the 250, I mean, is that what you expected?
Well, no, you know, it takes a lot of luck, first of all, and I don't know, these guys wanted something to do, so I picked up the car and I had to change an engine on it, and got it here not being ready, but, you know, we can throw something in to get 20 laps in it, and I think that's what we did. So now having it last for, you know, a long run is going to be the chore. So. Yeah,
well, obviously we know you can, being a former winner, but you're wondering about the car now.
Yeah, I always keep my fingers crossed because it's kind of you know, last minute, and, you know, we didn't really check everything out real close, so, I mean, anything can happen, you know.
Well, you reached goal 1 by being in the field. Now see if you can be around at the end.
Right, yeah, getting in is the hard part, and hopefully we can just ride there for a while and save what we got, and maybe try to make some money. That's the whole idea of it, you know, try to make a little money.
That's what you're all about, Larry, money. Well, good luck.
Yeah, I've already broke even, so I'm happy.
All right.
Life in Maine is all about outdoor fun and being close to nature. Southern Maine Jeep is all about delivering you the best selection and the best prices at one location. Live it up with a new 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee, increased horsepower and mileage, or go for the all-new look of the Jeep Compass 4x4. If Maine had a state car, it would be the Jeep. No other vehicle has the capabilities that come standard on every Jeep. No other dealer is working as hard to be #1 as Southern Maine Motors.
You can't even believe that it happened. You just don't think it can happen to you or anyone you know. This is so hard for us right now. They were like our family. I can't believe that they're gone, and I'm never gonna forget them. You really can't describe the loss of someone that you love.
You're watching Mainly Motorsports, brought to you this week by LKQ. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Route 202, Gorham.
can't say enough about these guys at Kyle Busch Motorsports. DJ Brackett and Seth Holbrook, all the guys on that hell of a good Camry were pretty awesome this weekend.
And now take us back to lap 225. Jeff Taylor in the 88 all of a sudden comes out of nowhere for one last charge, makes it by you. Was that a little bit of a wake-up call there, seeing the 88 fly past you? You turned it on right after that, retook the lead about 5 laps later, and then held on to it till the end.
Yeah, it was a bit tricky there with the lap cars. You know, they were kind of playing havoc with us a little bit. Sometimes they'd be high, sometimes they'd be low. So you kind of had to pick the right line, and I thought the top, when building my momentum, was going to be the best place, but he got by me on the bottom. You know, he had a really good car, and so we fought him back, got back on the bottom, got underneath him, passed him back, you know, and just hit. It's fun. You know, this is great. It's everything I thought it would be. You know, the Oxford 250 is a special one. It was one of them on my list, you know, and you know, I appreciate all the fan support. They're awesome. But thank you guys for coming out here. We wouldn't be able to there's a lot of cheers there and the boards. You guys can go home crying.
5 years ago, I went shopping for my family's first camper. I didn't like the prices, and I didn't like the way I was treated. A year later, I opened up Scott's Recreation.
Today, Scott's Recreation is Maine's exclusive multi-line Heartland dealer, along with being Maine's #1 fifth-wheel dealer 2 years in a row. Browse through the new 2012 Heartland models or take advantage of closeout prices on 2011s. Scott's welcomes almost anything in trade, financing available too. Scott's Recreation, Route 202 in Manchester, and our sister company, Holton Power Sports, North Street, Holton.
Teacher, car salesman, take advantage of me.
You didn't go to Ospey Trail?
No, I went to the other guys.
Other guys.
Don't bother going to the other guys. Go to Ossipee Trail Motor Sales, Route 25, Gorham.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
You're watching Mainely Motorsports, brought to you by Southern Maine Motors, out to be Maine's #1 Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep dealership. Okay, we're here with Eddie McDonald, and you tried to do what Ralph Nason, the only other guy to do it is Ralph Nason, and gave it a valiant effort, just come up 3 spots short, you know?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be tough coming from 26th. We knew that was going to be a very tall order to be able to come from there, but, we just had to play a little different strategy than everyone else did. Don't know if it was the right move or not. Probably should have came in with everyone else and got tires, but still happy we got a 4th place. It's definitely a good finish. Would have loved to been able to get up there on those sides. But.
Yeah, no, and I think everybody in the crowd was hoping to see you up there battling with Kyle Busch, because if there was somebody that was going to lean on him and use any groove that Kyle would leave for him, it would be you, Eddie. And so great job coming up a little short, but you made it exciting.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just happy my guys. They've been working so hard all weekend. We dragged them all over from Ohio to Maine. And
now, do you think that working hard thing had to do when the car fell off the jack in the pits? They were just so wiped out, and then they couldn't get it back on the jack,
yeah,
right?
We haven't talked about what happened there. I think the jack just wouldn't roll and just kind of fell off. So luckily, you don't go down a lap under the.
Nobody got hurt. So.
Yeah, so could have been a lot worse, but we came out and the car was really fast. So guys just did an awesome job, getting that thing where it needed to be. We just used it up a little too much at the end, and we weren't able to be there to run with those guys.
No, but a great run, and now a good payday up here at Oxford.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, great job, Eddie.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, we caught up with our 3rd place finisher here at the TD Bank 250, and other than the winner, and I mean, you might even be happier than the winner, huh, Austin?
Yeah, I mean, what a great day. Last year we tried to make the race and we failed to qualify. I mean, I can't believe the difference 1 year makes. The whole team really worked their butts off today, and we got the car really pretty decent. I mean, I don't think a race car driver will ever have a perfect car, but it was pretty near perfect. I mean, you got Kyle and Nick running up there in the front. They're really tough all day, but geez, I wish that caution didn't come out at the end. I think we had a great long run car, and I think we had something at least for Nick at the end if that caution wouldn't have come out.
You know, the thing that impressed me, and it didn't impress me to the point that I was like in awe, because I've seen you race. I take credit in finding this young man. No, but I'm just teasing. I remember watching you at Spud. You showed tremendous patience at 15. So obviously you're still going to show that patience at 17. You didn't in the heat race, and I'm not saying you showed over aggressiveness, but you knew it's the Oxford 250 and you need to qualify. And you qualified. You know, you showed a little more aggressiveness in the heat, but then feature time, you kind of picked your spots, methodically moved forward, and you know, you stayed there. Once you got in that top 5 range, you stayed there the rest of the night.
Yeah, and I think for the 250, you really have to approach it differently. Obviously in the heats, it's really crucial. If you can get in the heat, you really have to stick it in there. I mean, if a guy opens up, you can't afford to just back off. I mean, if it's really blatant, you can give him a chance, but it's just so crucial. You know, it's easier on the tires, and it's really a big confidence booster for the whole team, and also the driver.
I was going to say, you know, you came into 2011 with big expectations. Brian Hoare's teammate, good equipment. You know you can do it, and you had some decent runs, but you haven't gone over the top like you think you have. So to come here, the biggest race for the late model type cars on the biggest weekend of late model type car racing, and to come out here with a 3rd place finish behind Nick Sweet, battled Eddie McDonald to stay on the podium. I mean, there's a guy that's won the last 2, you know, and then finished behind Kyle Busch. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you've got to be so proud. I talked to your mom, your dad. I mean, the whole family is just ecstatic because this is a huge deal.
Oh, absolutely. You should have seen them when I got out of the car. They had a hard time keeping it together. Well, I had to tell them, you know, okay, guys,
we're on the big stage,
yeah,
right?
You got to calm down.
They're acting like your first birthday party, right?
Yeah.
But well, you say that. I was standing in their pit for the last 50 laps of the race, and when you finished 3rd, they all group hugged and all that, and they were all tangled up in the radios. I thought I was going to have to cut all their cords to get them out because they were just all tangled. They're so excited, you know, and that's what people, and you understand at a young age, it's not all about Austin Terrio. It's all those people behind the scenes. This is a big day for them too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we this weekend, as you know, we took a break from the RPM car, being that it was a non-points race, and I mean, we raced with this car last weekend, and it just was awesome. So we figured, you know, we might as well bring it, and it did really good for me today. But like you said, you know, it's all about the guys who turn wrenches on the car. It always looks good for the driver when they finish good, but you know, the car can really make a driver look even better, and kudos to them.
No, you're absolutely right, and it's nice when you see a 17-year-old young man that has that figured out, because there's a lot of guys in this sport that don't realize that. So from all of us at Mainely Motorsports, we'd like to congratulate you, Austin, on a fine 3rd place finish in the 38th annual. That's like over twice your age this race has been going on. 38th annual Oxford 250.
Well, thanks for having me on.
All right, Austin, good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm here with Nick Sweet. He just polished off a 2nd place victory in the Oxford 250. It sets to be a great run for you. You come up 1 short, but you still had a great run, had a great night. Talk a little bit about that and let us know the emotion factor and how happy you guys are for finishing 2nd.
Oh, I'm very, very proud of the guys that race the race, that work on the race car. They made it very easy for me to race the race car tonight. I think that last restart I just got outdriven, more or less. Kyle Busch there's a reason why he's a professional race car driver. He's phenomenal. He was flawless at the end. I was hoping he might slip up a couple times. Never did, but that's okay. That 2nd is very, very respectable we've come here and this is the best we've ever run here. And it was just a great day all in all.
Yeah, you took on tires later than the other guys, and then you piled your way back through the field and made a heck of a charge. It was awesome to watch. Tell us a little bit about the battle that you had coming up through the field, you know?
We had to be patient, very patient. but aggressive at the same time. You just couldn't use your stuff up kind of deal. I tried to get through traffic as good as I could because I know this place is such a place that spreads out, and it's very hard to reel somebody in. So I kept my cool and tried to get through traffic as good as I could, and it worked out pretty good. Like I say, I think we actually had probably, I don't know if it was faster than Kyle's car, but it was as even. And I think if the run was longer, I think it might have been a different race for us because I don't know though. I don't know if I could have done anything with him. I'm still playing it back in my head why I lost that restart. It just, most of the time when we do restarts at the place I race, it's not like that. And I just lack that experience, which he's phenomenal at. And that's what wins races right there.
Now, you're a weekly competitor at Thunder Road and pick and choose on the ACT Tour. How does this stack up in your rankings? You know, how do you rate this? You've won the Merchants Bank, I believe, a few times.
Yeah, this is
and the Governor's Cup, I believe.
It would have been a lot sweeter if it was a win.
Right.
But yeah, it stacks up very high. This is one of my favorite races to come to every year. They're all big though, realistically. Every time I get behind the wheel of a race car, if you can go out and do what I did today, that's just what everybody dreams about that's a driver. To go out past cars and have a good car like that, that was worth the while of coming here this weekend.
Well, congratulations on your second place finish, and maybe you can grab another spot next year.
Yeah, we're gonna next year definitely come back. We love this race, and the biggest thing is we're gonna just try to get a car like what we had this weekend. I knew the feeling that I wanted, and it obviously worked for us on that feeling. So hopefully we can repeat the next year what we got for a feeling in the race car, and then we'll be right there at the end again.
Well, congrats on your second place, and thanks for giving us a minute of your time.
Thank you very much.
Have a ticket but need a ride? Let VIP take you to the hottest events, including Entertainer of the Year Taylor Swift at Gillette Stadium, June 25th and 26th. Or country music superstar and Grammy Award winner Kenny Chesney, August 27th. And September 25th, don't miss the NASCAR Sylvania Sprint Cup at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Leave the driving to VIP and let VIP take you to the hottest events. Call or reserve online at VIPchartercoaches.com.
You're watching Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by Scott's Recreation, now at 3 convenient locations. Go to scottsrecreation.com to view our inventory. Well, I got to say, this is quite a special honor to be sitting here with Kyle Busch, the guy that cost me so much money so many years ago. But I'll tell you, we got some great memories up here at Oxford. Almost got me killed at Star Speedway, but also almost got you killed by Billy Penfold.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But you know, it's so great to come here.
We've come a long ways.
Yeah, our relationships come around. I was sitting here, right? Where's Billy when we need him? But what a great time. You come up here, and I don't know, I mean, there's a lot of boos, a lot of cheers. You did the sweep, you did the double.
Yeah.
But the thing I want to talk about, Kyle, is the effort you put into this short track program of yours, and for these short track fans throughout the country. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, it is, you know, and my guys, they do a great job. You know, it's fun to work with them. I love my group here, and, you know, we built our pass car. You know, we've had that for a few weeks now. We've won 3 out of the 3 with it, so it's been a really good race car for us. And I tell you what, TJ Brackett and Seth Holbrook, they did a great job with this ACT car. You know, they built it out of TJ's garage, and, you know, the sacrifices that he made, that his girlfriend made, that his son made, you know, so it was really nice for those guys to put in the heart and soul to it and get us out here this weekend, you know. And so without them, we wouldn't have made it, and without our fine folks from Hell of a Good and Hood Dairy, everybody, it was a great effort. Kyle Busch Motorsports guys did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, to win the pass race last night, something that you've done before and had it taken away, you've run some pass races.
Yeah.
Your team won this Pass South Championship.
That's right.
But you won up here. It was a huge night, huge crowd, and then to do what you did today in the late model, that's what you set out to do. It's crossed off the list.
Yeah, certainly. You know, it was definitely a big weekend. You know, I love coming up to Oxford. It's always a fun racetrack to get to, and, you know, it's definitely a neat little racetrack. It's got some quirks to it, you know, that make it a bit different. And so with what we did with our Aaron's Dream Machine and the pass race was certainly nice. I have won a pass race before. Unfortunately, it didn't stick, but you know, we did this weekend, so we finally got that one knocked off the list. And my guys have done a good job in the Pass South before. We've run there before, but all in all, you know, it's neat to come back up here and see the fans, get a good reception, and you know, see if we come back again.
Now, will you? That's one of my 2 questions left. Will you come back next year to defend your titles?
I'll work on it. You know, I've got a wife, and you know, she wants to go on vacation sometimes. It depends on the Cup schedule. You know, if this is the only off weekend that we have throughout the whole year, it's going to be tough to convince her to let me come back. But certainly in the future, I'll be back.
What do you mean? What better place to spend your vacation?
Oxford, Maine.
Oxford, Maine at the bonfire, right?
She might. Oh, hell yeah. She might love it, man. I don't know. We'll have to get
Kyle
her.
talked about going to the bonfire last night, and I said, you know, did you hear those boos? You might end up in the bonfire.
Yeah.
So, you know.
No, we didn't. We passed that opportunity up.
Went to McDonald's. They wouldn't even stay open for Kyle Busch, right?
Yeah, we called them on the way. We're like, hey, you going to be open? And they're like, no, we're closing actually in 1 minute. And they said, but the one in Lewiston will be open, so you can go there. So we headed over there.
Now, one last thing. The ACT Invitational that they do at Loudon on the September weekend. Now you have an invite.
I do.
Will you be in that race?
I would if I could, but you know, unfortunately, I think JD Gibbs has something else to say about that. He doesn't like me running around. I tried running the modified race there a couple times. He won't let me run that one, so I don't know that I'll get the opportunity to run the ACT race. I'll be watching though. I'll be cheering the boys on, and I met Nick, I met Austin. You know, I know who Jeff Taylor is, so we'll be cheering those guys on and seeing if they can't get a win.
But you know, great job this weekend. You came, you did, you conquered. I mean, you did what you set out to do. So for you and your whole team, Bon, Chris, Seth, TJ, congratulations, and we thank you here at Mainely Motorsports for taking the time with us.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate it. And it was can't say enough about all those guys. They did a great job. So everybody at Kyle Busch Motorsports deserves this one.
All right, Kyle. Thank you.
You got it, man. Good to see you, bud.
All right. Take care.
At Southern Maine Motors, we're celebrating Jeep's 70th anniversary with our spring events. Get the vehicle you want at a price no one else can touch, like a 2011 Jeep Compass, leased for only $239 a month for 39 months, or a 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee, leased for only $299 a month. Plus, right now, used car values are at an all-time high. Bring in your own vehicle and drive off in a brand new car. With savings this big, it's no wonder Southern Maine Motors is out to be Maine's #1 Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealer. Visit southernmainmotors.com.
Wow, wow, wow. That's all I can say about this great weekend of racing up here at Oxford.
Between the modifieds, the pass race on Saturday night, and then the Oxford 250 today.
Great storylines all weekend long.
Right.
You know, the first-time winner in the mods, Kyle Busch, winning last night against the best super late model racers in the country, and then coming up here today in the biggest one-day short track event in the country, and finally getting that win that everybody, you know, I mean, like he said last night, boy, you know, make it sound like I've been doing this forever. No, it's still, but you still had 2 shots and you didn't do it. This is Kyle Busch. This isn't Joe Smith. You know, this is Kyle Busch. You come in, you win, you conquer, you leave.
He brought the broom and
he brought the broom. He brought this, and one thing that he did that his buddy Havoc only came in and won 1 race, and he won 2.
2 in the same week.
Yeah, and Kyle made the comment off camera that at least he did it with a legal car, right? So what a great job for him coming up, that whole organization. But what a great time for the race fan. That's who I think, the race fan.
Yeah, it was a great show for that. I honestly believe since the Oxford 250 has been the ACT type late model, this was one of the best races that I saw all around. The racing throughout the field, you know?
Yeah, and I want you to hear right now what Bill Ryan had to say about the weekend. And then we'll come back and wrap the show up. Okay, Bill, sum this weekend up.
It was great. You know, it was such a exciting weekend all the way through. I think, you know, for tons of race cars. I mean, it was really good to see. Good to see 80 some odd cars today attempts to qualify for the TD Bank 250. Yesterday, it was pretty impressive to see 40 cars come out for a pro stock race here. The pass race was good. So I think it was just a lot of fans, a lot of race cars. Good weekend. You know, I'm sure some people disappointed that Kyle swept it, and some people that are ecstatic that Kyle swept it. So I mean, I think he did a good job, and you know, I guess out of this race, Austin Terrio coming in 3rd. I mean, he's all 17, 18 years old, and hasn't been in one of these cars for a long time. Doesn't have a lot of experience. For him to hold off a lot of hard charging guys like that, yeah, I mean, it's really impressive.
Yeah, and you said the magic word, the fans. It's all about the fans. You know, as a promoter, when they're happy, you're happy.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody that I've talked to all weekend is pleased. So from all of us at Mainely Motorsports, I can't thank you enough for putting this great weekend together for us.
I appreciate it, and the weathermen cooperated finally. We've had perfect weather for 3 days. I don't think we've ever had that. So.
All right, again next year?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why not.
All right, Bill.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Now we just heard from Bill talking about the weekend. We caught up with him out there in Victory Lane. He just don't show no emotion, but I'll tell you, you could tell he was pleased with the turnout, the crowd. You know, it was just the whole weekend.
Yeah, it was. The crowd was phenomenal Saturday night, and they had a really great crowd here tonight again.
Yeah.
And a great race, and I can't say enough about the storylines. You know, the guys' tire strategies, and then we had the big. Why is everybody blowing right front? Jeff White was out front leading the race, and then Ben Ashline and him on a restart. Both of them, their right front tires go flat.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then, there's him and Ben Ashline right off the restart, going flat.
And then there was words that maybe Goodyear was having a tire problem.
Geez, we got scared. We just got spooked by Kyle Busch. I had to go knuckle him up.
He's tricking us.
Yeah, he's tricking us.
Superstar.
But what about Jeff Taylor? It looked like finally he was going to get that elusive win.
I thought the Hound Dog was going to get one, you know. He had a great car. He was setting his own pace, making his tracks, and KB was just hunting him down. You could tell in the pitch of his motor that he was saving his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And
no, you're right.
He used it when he needed to.
Now, obviously last week's show, we had a little wager, a little top 5. And thank you, man. Kyle's leaving the building. But taking a lot of Bill Ryan's money, too. And
and speaking of taking money...
$20.
Who's $10.99 in it now?
$20. He cleaned. Last night was close. I mean,
Last night, I ended up with 35. You ended up with 45 total points. But tonight, it was decided before the green
I had
flag
two guys
dropped.
That didn't even make the field.
You had 2 DNQs.
But here's $20 to Greg. But you need a ride home, so I'm going to charge you gas money. So no, but thank you for coming up. Hope you enjoyed your experience, your first experience doing Mainely Motorsports at the 250. I hope
got to have the experience at doing some interviews. I hope they're not too bad, but it was a great time. Got to spend about an hour and a half with Joey Carafas today, just shooting the breeze.
Yeah, and
that's awesome, you know.
Joey Carafas, we're going to have that on an upcoming episode. You know, the guy that won the inaugural Oxford 200.
The year I was born.
Yeah, no, exactly. So congratulations to all this weekend's winners, all the race fans that saw some great race action, and we'll see you next week on Mainely Motorsports.
$20.
To order copies of a show, send a check or money order for $15, shipping and handling included, to Mainely Motorsports, 326 Roosevelt Trail, Windham, Maine, 04062. And please add a description of the show.